Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. A very happy Mother's Day to all the beautiful mothers out there, whether you're mothers to children, animals, fur babies, birds, crystals. You are nurturing beautiful life force, and this message is for you. My name is Angelic Alchemy Meenakshi, and I am a seer or spiritual alchemist and a spiritual guide. You can know more about me on my website, which is angelicalchemyholistichealing.com. And you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube by the same name, angelicalchemyholistichealing.com. I am a practitioner of past life regressions, angelic alchemy Reiki, angelic alchemy Akashic records reading, and I am a spiritual mentor as well. So I wanted to just share a beautiful dream that I was shown just on the eve of Mother's Day. And I think that was a very beautiful gift that came from the divine. I work with beautiful spirit guides, mainly Divine Mother and Divine Father of creation, who bring messages forth in dream time and meditations, and also through client sessions and other inner work, shadow work that I do for myself. And in this dream, well, it's been a while since I've been asking, questions about, life and how a soul is brought to earth and what that process looks like. And I work a lot with, I've done my own self-healing, as well as I work a lot with other clients that are also healing themselves. And this healing process requires a lot of inner work and shadow work to be done. And some of the things that we work on healing our chakra system, shadows that we've been carrying from past lives, trauma from family lines, lineage, DNA, ancestral healing, as well as some inversions as well that have been thrown on our path that we had no contract and we had not signed for at all. And so in this dream, I was shown this beautiful couple. It was a twin flame, and they were going to be born on earth, and they were coming down from the higher dimensions, as you can say, where they belonged from. And the two of them were in a vehicle. Now, the vehicles in dream time symbolize our path and the path that we're taking for our journeys. And this beautiful couple was in the vehicle. And, sometime in between, they really wanted to enjoy all the dimensions that they were traveling through. So they opened the sunroof and, they stood out pretty much like you would do in a car here. And they were enjoying the breeze and the wonderful experience that they were having, going through different dimensions, which were also shown as trees. So I was shown these beautiful, lush green trees that were on the path for this couple. And because they were outside of the vehicle, they were able to enjoy the beautiful breeze flowing through, as well as the branches of the trees were just, going through them. And they were loving this experience. And what I was shown was that they started from the top of the mountain. Now, this is very symbolic because, it means a higher dimension that they were coming from. And they were coming towards the middle of the mountain. That's where they were going to be, and that's where they were going to live. And as they were coming down from the mountains, going through this beautiful experience of touching all the trees, which again, the trees symbolize different dimensions that you go through. And the branches are also experiences of different star systems and evolutions that have happened. And the trees on the also symbolize grounding, and they carry the wisdom of the higher dimensions here on earth. No matter what the wisdom your soul carried in, say, a 13th, 12th, 14th, 40th dimension, wherever you came from, the trees on earth would be able to tap into that wisdom and anchor it here for you. So it was beautiful connecting with those trees. And the trees also signify, and they also symbolize us grounding our energies here wherever we are for whatever we came here to do, and at the same time being able to reach the higher consciousness level while continuing to be grounded. So that was a beautiful message. And this couple was really excited to be here. It looked like they knew what they were coming for, but they were very confident and happy and excited, and they were looking forward to this experience and the journey, just getting into the physical bodies that they were going to embody here. But as soon as they reached the final point of birth, where they had to birth through the birth, canal, the tunnel, through their mothers, as soon as they were born, the first thing they wanted to do was they wanted to reach out to their higher selves and, just let them know, I'm here, can I talk to you? And I need to connect with you. And that was trapped because they went through the veil. As they were going through the trees, coming down and down and down the dimensions from the top of the mountain to the middle of the mountain. By the time they reached where they were supposed to reach their destination and they were born, female of the couple just yelled out to her higher self, and she knew the name and names of her higher self because her higher self has many names, and she called them out one by one. But somehow, as she was calling them out, her voice was not coming out of her throat, and she was getting very frustrated and upset about that. She almost wanted to cry, and she was holding on to her throat chakra and trying her best to yell and call her higher self. And she did it a couple of times, but it wasn't happening. So they showed me how, when you're coming from, when a soul is taking birth, they go through this experience of traveling through the various dimensions, very excited, because most of the people that are here working in service to the collective, to Ascension, to help, the beings here, have come here with a said purpose, which was shown to them before they came to Earth as a contract, of what they were going to carry and what they were going to experience, what they were going to bring to the table, to this whole alchemy of life that we're going through. And so, as they went through, despite the fact that they came from a higher dimension at some point after going through the veil, they felt when they were born that they lost their connection to their source, to their higher self, to their beautiful oversoul that they're connected with. They remembered the name, they called the name, but somehow they felt they were disconnected because the voice wasn't coming out. That was the first blow to the throat chakra that soul experienced. And then throughout the life, the soul had other challenges that occurred, that happened, that challenged that person's throat chakra to be activated. Now, what does a throat chakra stand for? Our throat chakra stands for our authenticity, our true self, our voice, our communication, what we stand for, our truth. Now imagine coming through the veil and losing that as the first thing, in the first point of contact when you reach Earth. That can be very traumatic for the soul, and that was the first blow that soul got for the throat chakra. And that became the journey of that soul to now remember that they have to heal their throat chakra and whatever trapped their throat chakra, go through that whole experience. And at some point in their life, in their journey, which happened for this soul, they heal their throat chakra. And they do that by remembering their connection to their divine, their connection to God's source, their connection to their beautiful higher self, their beautiful oversoul, by remembering who she was. And as she remembered who she was, and the final piece of the puzzle clicked for her, she was home. And this dream, when I interpreted it next day, it brought me to tears, because my higher self said, that's all you need to do, is just remember your connection to source, to your higher self, to God, to your oversoul, whatever you want to call that higher dimensional frequency that you come from. And as soon as you remember that you belong, that you never really disconnected, that you thought your voice wasn't going through, but it was heard, but that you were supposed to experience this experience on your own, and that your higher self, your oversoul, had enough faith in you to let you be, to let you experience things, to let you learn from those lessons and expand and do what you came here to do. Kind of like the mothers when they take their children to, school for the first time, and the children cry, they turn around, they want their mother, and they're crying for their mother, but the mother knows that, okay, I'm not talking about the institute, but education, they need to learn. These are the lessons that they need to learn, and they will be fine. And their mother lets them be, but the mother knows at the end of the day, the child is going to come home. And that's exactly what this life journey was about. As soon as the soul remembered who she was, who her higher self was, and that connection clicked, and they connected once again, forever, never to be parted again, that was it. The throat chakra healed, the soul healed, she was home. And that's all that it took. And that's all that it took. And as soon as I realized this message, my higher self started playing the song And Nothing Else Matters by Metallica in my head, the guitar, the drums, all the shebang. So I'm going to share the lyrics to the song. Take a look and listen to the song from the 1990s. It's really going to make you feel, help you remember who you are, and help you remember that no matter how far you are from your higher self physically, there is no distance, there is no time, there is no gap. You're still there, you're still connected, because our higher selves are us, and we are our higher selves, and we carry our higher selves in our heart, in our soul, in our consciousness, and that can never be taken away from us. So just remember that and be yourself, be you. The most authentic person, being, frequency that you can be is yourself. Just embody that, and that is the answer. The other message that I wanted to share was another dream that I had, where they showed me, they were trying to show me light workers and how when you wake up and you start shining your light and you start sharing what you know, or you start helping people, or, learning, just expanding your own gifts, doing your inner work, and embodying who you are, what you came here to do. And all the psychic attacks, the darkness, everything else starts getting attracted your way, and they try their best to stop you from doing what you came here to do. And so my higher self showed me this dream of a beautiful, pristine, sandy beach, absolutely crystalline. I don't think it even belonged to this earth. It was so beautiful and clean and pure. And on the sand dunes of this beach was a beautiful, huge amethyst supercharger crystal that had emerged and risen from the sandy beach. And as soon as that crystal came up, I also saw these little crabs that came from behind the crystal on the sandy dunes. Little crabs, they formed a little army, and they were so cute. And they came and they circled around the amethyst and they stayed there. It was really beautiful. The message here was, if you look at crabs as a spiritual animal, crabs have an inherent technique to shield themselves, to protect themselves. Now, the crabs also represent, the divine beings that are around us, protecting us. They also represent our inner strength and our inner resilience that is there, that is needed to keep us on a path and give us the strength and protection that we need to do what we came here to do, or simply just be who we are and continue to be who we are. Because the amethyst crystal belonged to the land, and it belonged to the ocean, to the sea. That's where they are, all the crystals under the earth. And these crabs came in. Again, the crabs are on earth and they also go into the water. So it's pretty much the same energy because they live there too. They came to protect the amethyst and to give it support and let it know that we are here. We are your inner strength. And this is the message for all of you beautiful light workers that are here working in any capacity to shield, protect, activate, help, people, human beings, souls, animals, birds, crystals, earth, trees, whatever you're doing. Just keep doing what you're doing and you will be divinely protected, not just external source, but mostly also from your own inner strength, which is going to keep showing up each time you need it. Each time you need that inner strength and inner protection, you're going to receive a message and a proof, a tangible evidence of that being around you. And that's what these beautiful crabs represented. The amethyst represented beautiful light workers that are here doing what they have to do. And it was just standing there in all its strength and glory, shining its light and its wisdom and anchoring in all the codes that it carried from eons of lifetimes that have gone here on earth, from Lemuria, from Atlantis. The crystals are still here. Light workers are still here. The people that have to do their work, they will do what they have to do. Just stay positive in your strength. Remember who you are and connect with that beautiful energy from inside to outside. All right, so those are the messages I wanted to share. Happy Mother's Day once again. Lots of love to each one of you. Blessings. Take care.